The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey everyone, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome back to another episode of Garthology. In today's episode, we're continuing our deep dive review of Garth Brooks's box set, Blame It All on My Roots, 5 Decades of Influences, that in 2013 was a Walmart exclusive release. And for me, looking back at this box set, it was basically like Garth saying, here's the soundtrack that made me the artist I am. And I feel like that is a big deal now, looking back all these years, because I appreciate it more for that reason. I don't think I appreciated it as much then as I should have, but I really like looking at this set now and saying, this is what made him. So that's really affected me during this review. And I also remember feeling at the time that this box set was kind of a big event because remember, Garth had retired in late 2000. So, as we all know now, he did occasionally release some new singles during that time, but it certainly wasn't enough as far as I was concerned. And I believe as far as you guys were concerned, I was really missing him.
For sure.
And so for him to do that residency and to put out this box set, it was a big deal because he'd been gone from recording from 2001 until like 2005.
For me, it was almost like that box set came out and it was like, okay, there's still a possibility that we're going to see him come back out on tour, that he's going to return. He always promised when the babies were grown that he would come back. And this was kind of that thing like, what is it going to happen for me? I kind of felt the same way. Or that's what I remember feeling anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. It gave us something like to look forward to, like, okay, he really isn't gone forever.
No.
And in 2005, he did start that kind of partial comeback. He gave those few performances. Pete and I got to go to the firefighter ones in LA. What was that? I think 2008.
Something like that.
We went to all those. And so it was like, well, we had little tastes of him here and there. He did a couple of compilation albums. But I just remember being super excited when he started that semi-regular weekend concert residency at the Wynn, which ran from December of 2009 until January of 2014. Because like Jess and I got to go see it. We knew he was going to be there. It was only on the weekends. It was only every once in a while, but at least he was out there and he was doing something. But when this box set came out, I feel like people were really hungry for anything Garth. I know I certainly was. And we've spoken many times about how this box set allowed Jess and I to relive the Wynn residency show that we saw. And for Pete, I think it was even more important because he got to see a show that he never got to see live.
Absolutely.
And that's part of what this box set allowed. So I definitely appreciate this set more for those reasons. Another reason I truly appreciate this set is for the item in it that we are starting our review of today. This box set includes some things that honestly in 2026 are difficult to find. And that is some of Garth's best music videos. I mean, you struggle to find them anywhere now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he has, something to do with that. He's not a big fan of YouTube. And so he doesn't have an official channel on there where stuff gets released. But this is the way we get to see them. And yet back in the day, music videos weren't non-existent or just extras that a musician would put out. They were the way an artist showed the world who they were. Like it was a big thing at that time. And I don't think people today know what that was like, but I think the three of us know that. Like
Yeah.
MTV was a music video channel for a reason. There were music videos. It was a big deal. And I feel like with Garth's music videos, especially, we got to see who he was as an artist when, like, maybe if you didn't have the chance to see him live. And he was there, you know, sometimes on stages, sometimes just acting in a music video of his, but it gave us a chance to see him. And I like that about these. And I especially like being able to look back at them. And in many of his videos, I feel like it gave him a chance to really tell the story of the song. It lets him show the emotion of it that maybe he doesn't do in concerts, because he, you know, a lot of people are so far away, he couldn't really show it. But I think in these videos, he really was able to take his, you know, kind of larger than life energy and really put it into a music video where we could all sit and watch it. So thanks to this box set, I feel like we can relive those moments. And that's a big deal looking back all these years now. And I am definitely finding that more important today, now in 2026, because Garth currently isn't performing regularly. And so I really miss seeing him. You know, we don't have Inside Studio G anymore. He's not performing in concert anymore right now. So this is our chance to really get to see him. I almost feel like we're back in those years that he spent in retirement. Like, I'm really feeling like I need some Garth.
Yeah.
And so I think these videos give us a chance to relive that. And so I appreciate that. Now, let's start our review of the Ultimate Hits DVD section of the Blame It All on My Roots set. Today, we're looking at the first 3 music videos, starting with video number 1, Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old was written by Randy Taylor and Garth Brooks. The music video itself didn't list a director. And by future standards, I feel like this video, as far as Garth's videos go, it wasn't really a music video. The video wasn't driven by a storyline or anything like that. There were no actors, you know, no set. Nothing like that. It wasn't like a music video the way I think we're all used to what music videos are. In fact, what we're watching on this Ultimate Hits DVD isn't an official 1989 music video like, let's release a song and let's release a video. That's not what this was. The music video wasn't originally made when the single came out. What shows up on this DVD set is essentially an edited performance clip, just him and his band performing on a stage. It's almost, to me, it's like a time capsule of that moment, which I think is important looking all these years back, because this video was recorded for the 15th season of the live television show Austin City Limits in 1990. So it's interesting to think of, you know, he hadn't really tried music videos yet. And so they just said, well, let's just grab this performance and we'll use that. But I do love that the DVD opens here because it reminds me of how Garth arrived to all of us, like fully formed. He had his voice, his phrasing, his conviction. He was good on a stage. And I think we all know, those of us that are big fans of him, we know that's because he'd been performing live for years. Like, he may have been new to the radio, to all of us, but he'd been out there on the road, like doing it for lots of years before this. And so he was really kind of honing this great performer that he, you know, was ultimately going to become. And I think that this performance style presentation, especially at that time in his career, really worked for him because it wasn't him being flashy. It was just Garth being Garth. And I love that because he's right here in my living room just performing one of his best songs and his very first hit. But I will say the style of the video, that feels dated for sure. Oh my gosh, those transitions. I mean, they're bad.
Like high school.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like that would have been something that our like AV club in my high school would have put together, those transitions. They are not good. So I will say a couple of things I noticed specifically about the video. His eyebrows are really expressive in it, which I don't think I'd noticed before. So if you get a chance, if you hadn't noticed that, you guys go back and look at it. They actually made me laugh. Like he just was very expressive with his eyebrows.
That's so funny because like I was mesmerized by how blue his eyes are in it, but I never noticed his eyebrows for some reason, I guess.
That is funny. I also think it's great to see all of the band as such babies. Like they were babies when this video was filmed. And so it's cool now, having just come out of the Vegas residency now, seeing them all up close and personal, because a lot of it is the same people. Yep. And then you look back all these years ago, it's crazy to see them so young. But I do think my favorite part about watching that clip is looking at Garth then and wondering, does he realize what's about to happen to him? Like, does he realize the mega superstar that he's about to become? That's such an interesting thing to me, to look in his little baby face and think, oh my gosh, you just have no idea what's coming. So I just thought that was really interesting. Okay, Pete, I'm tossing it to you for your take on the Much Too Young video.
Yeah, the Much Too Young video. Okay, first of all, holy graininess or whatever that word would be. That is so grainy. It definitely wasn't 4K back then or whatever. One of the first things I noticed watching it, he didn't have a headset mic, right? I would imagine that they probably weren't invented yet. So it's funny seeing him with a microphone in front of him. A couple other things I noticed, and it's so funny, the notes that you and I have, Aunt Deb, but one thing I noticed, back then he was using a Takamine guitar, and he still uses it today. And this, again, kind of goes back to what you were saying about, did he know what was going to, the shows were so mellow. Like, you know, him just standing on the stage in front of a guitar, or with a guitar in front of a mic with the band, like everybody just seemed so mellow. It is wild to see how young the entire band was at that time. And it's crazy to just see Garth stay so still and in one place. It's almost like you can see that he was wanting to jump out of that stance and just go wild. Like at that point, I think he knew what he needed to do to become a 7-time Entertainer of the Year. And if he didn't, whenever that happened, whenever he went from standing in front of a microphone, mellow on stage with the band, to running and jumping all over the place, obviously, was, you know, where you think, did he know then? Or did he see, okay, this is great, and people are cheering, and people are happy, and people are coming to see us. But how do I take it to the next level, right? Do I start running around and all of that stuff? So it's so crazy to see the difference of where it started back then and where it is today. Even now, you know, it's 60 years old or whatever, running around, jumping and smashing things and throwing water all over the place. It's crazy to see where it started and where it's at. I'm excited to see, you know, if we're lucky enough to see him, you know, come back and start touring again or putting shows on. Where does it go? At some point, does he go back to that just in front of a microphone type thing? You know, you never know. Jess, what do you think? What do you think about Much Too Young?
I love how old this video is now, because it feels more nostalgic to me to watch the video than it does to listen to the song, because the song's in my playlist all the time and it kind of stays with me. But the video I have not watched in probably since I cracked that disc out when I first got this box set. Maybe a couple times after that, but it's been a while. So it's been a long time since I saw that video. And like you said, so grainy. It looks like it was off of an old VHS tape. And so there's a lot of nostalgia just watching the video for what it looks like. This is one of those songs that's been around since the beginning. And so to me, it's just kind of the essence of who Garth is as an artist, the song itself. But like you said, it's so different. It's so like toned down from who Garth is as an artist now that we know. And I don't know, because I don't see a lot of footage from that time, from that early on in his career. So I don't know if his show changed that much, or maybe if this was in deference to the fact that it was the anniversary show for the Austin City Limits. I don't know, but it was very different. It was noticeably different. And I did put in my notes, I have to say, this video uses every transition they had in their repertoire back then. Like literally every single one I think that was available was in this video. And that kind of made me laugh. I love the hats off at Chris Ledoux, even back then, that he was he had such a kind of a love and an admiration for him. And I really just love all the close-ups of the guys because, like you said, the ones that have been part of the ride the whole time, it was so fun to see them back then and then just know that they're still there now. And I think the video overall, even though it probably wasn't like you said, it wasn't a setup video, it was just really a performance. It's just a great, simple little time capsule to the old stuff. So I do love that for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of what makes this so special. We have the chance to just go back and look at baby Garth. I love that.
Because what if we didn't what if there weren't videos of that stuff at all? There are artists that there just wasn't stuff at the time that they were around. So yeah, we should be very grateful that we have that early stuff for sure.
All right, on to video number 2. And the second video on the DVD is If Tomorrow Never Comes. If Tomorrow Never Comes was written by Kent Blasey and Garth Brooks, and the video was directed by John Lloyd Miller, who will end up directing a lot of Garth's early videos. Visually, this is what I think of as like a music video. It's more like what we see in most other music videos. It is a stripped down kind of intimate video. Garth's just sitting in like some random living room, and he's just singing and playing guitar in a dim room with family scenes kind of mixed throughout it. The video matches the song's core question of, did I love you out loud enough? Did you know while we were together how much I loved you? And yet it's all done without overacting it. And I love that. It's simple. Garth's first wife, Sandy, does play his wife in the video, but the daughter is not played by one of Garth's girls because, of course, it couldn't be. They weren't even born yet. In this video, the part is actually played by the daughter of Steve Gatlin from the band The Gatlin Brothers, which I didn't know that. I found that out when I was researching it. I thought that was interesting. And it made me wonder, how did that come together? How did that happen? So I thought that was cool. The lighting is really minimal. The set is minimal. You just get this kind of homey feeling by it. It seems like it's all happening in real time and like he's singing to one person. He's not performing it. And I love that. It's just sincere and heartfelt. And I just love watching it. Again, it gives us this glimpse of baby Garth, but also it shows the emotional part of him. And that fits really well, especially with this song. So, Pete, what did you think of this video?
Yeah, it's crazy because I've always known the song to be about a man wondering if he loved his wife enough while he was still alive. And watching this video, it almost makes it seem like at any given time, you can make the song about a wife, about a daughter, that elderly lady that was in the video, your mom. And so then I started thinking to myself, what would that video look like today? Or that song and video, what would it look like today with Garth's 3 daughters and Trisha? Because obviously Sandy was in, the original video. And the meaning of the song, watching this video, takes on a completely different new outlook or new story, I guess, for me, because it doesn't have to be about a man and his wife per se. It could be about, like I said, a man, a wife, his daughters, or whatever the case is. It's all about, like, did he do enough for the person in his life that he loves, like I said, to, if tomorrow never came. So I thought that was really cool. It is a country classic song, and I think that the video highlights that, right? There's kids running, or a little girl running around, in tall grass, old school country style home in the background, rocking chairs on the porch. Like you said, that random living room that he's sitting in, the old lamp, for some reason, the lamp or whatever the hell that was behind him kept catching my eye. But man, that's old. But then the video and the song is old, And so, yeah, it just, it's crazy because we always talk about how the lyrics for me paint these stories and these pictures. And then when you see something like that, how quickly it could just change it. And that was one thing about it that just caught my eye. It just really, really cool how versatile the song could be. But yeah, that's kind of what I took from it. And I love the song. I mean, the song is just so damn amazing. I just kept watching it. and watching it. And it's crazy. Just a quick story. I had watched it before because I lost the DVD. As we talked, I had to go and reorder the whole box set so I can get it back. So now that I got it, I'm watching. I just watch it. My mom and Stephanie are out there, and they're like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "You guys go to bed now." I'm just watching it over again. And they're like, "You're not even taking any notes." I had mental notes. And I just kept watching it. So I love If Tomorrow Never Comes. I love the video. What about you, Jess? What did you think about this one?
I agree. I really love this one. And I had also seen the video before, but thought the same thing you did when it started playing. And I was like, oh, this really could be more about his daughter. And then the older woman, I was like his mom or whoever. That thought did cross my mind as I was watching the video. And again, this one's such a throwback to those early days. Even the font on the little opening credits there at the bottom, it just made me think of like the 80s and 90s and the videos, on CMT would have been the country music videos. But we used to record videos that we liked on VHS tapes and then have like 2 hours of solid ones that we liked. So it just made me think of watching those. The style's very nostalgic. Even when the video was new, it was, because it was in that like sepia, however you say that orange color. So even at the time that it was made, it was supposed to feel like an old photograph. I think it's cool that Sandy was featured in the video at the time. And I think it was a fun kind of unintentional foreshadowing that they had a daughter in the video, because like you said, they couldn't have known that yet. I love the sweetness and the simplicity of the video. I like that it slowed down and that there's no striking transitions in this one, no colors. It's just like a very simple, beautiful little story about the love of family. I think all the choices that I mentioned really let the song shine, so that the video is in the background and the song is the featured event. I feel like sometimes the song can get lost in a video, and if there's a lot going on, it can kind of be overshadowed by the video. And I think that this one's memorable and lovely, but that doesn't happen here. So I think they did a great job with that. And I really enjoyed just getting to watch this one again, because it'd been years since I'd seen it.
Yeah, me too. Oh, it's so good. All right. We will now go on to our final video of this episode. Video number 3 is The Dance. The Dance was written by Tony Arata. Of course, we have talked about that song multiple times. The video here was directed by John Lloyd Miller, again, just like the last one. This video, to me, it's famous for pairing Garth's heartfelt performance of this particular song, which, we all know this is an emotionally driven song with like the sentiment in it is like gets me every time. But then you tie that to this like archival style of imagery of a few American icons, basically, and people that we lost much too early in their lives. And for me, that makes this video a whole other thing. Like, I actually struggle to watch this video.
Yeah.
I can listen to the song on repeat, but to watch the video, I found it this time. It had been a long time, like the others. It had been a long time for me seeing this video, but going back and watching it again, it just turns this video into a bigger statement for me. And it's like about choosing, how we live our lives, how we help our fellow humans by living our lives fully and in the best way we possibly can, like those American icons. And so, yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me to watch it. I think those images that we see in the video underlies the point of the song, but that doesn't make it any easier. And then I kind of had a striking moment of, well, that's what the song's about. The song is about, even if it's hard, you do it, And so that was kind of a real turning point for me. And as a side note, the video was awarded Video of the Year at the 1990 American Country Music Awards. So, Pete, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the dance, the starting speech, see the little snippets of John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. Like you were saying, there's just so much more to this song. I shouldn't say more to the song, but the video puts so much more meaning behind the song, I guess. And, it's really, really cool to see the way that like how Garth sees it, or what he thinks of it, and the way that its meaning behind it. And he had said, like, with this video and the way that they put it together was kind of that thought process, or how they saw it. We've talked about it. The song is a little of the same for me, but as you guys know, and we've talked about it many times, it means so much more to me in different ways. In the end, Garth says that when he leaves, he would have missed the pain, but he would have had to miss the dance. And, he didn't want to change it for the world. I've said it plenty of times, right? My pains and my dance have got me to where I am today. And I wouldn't have changed that for the world. I would have been okay to miss some of the pain, to be honest, but there's no way that I would have wanted to miss my dance thus far. And I think that, I'm excited to see wherever else that goes. And, it means so much to me. It forever will always be my all-time favorite song and lyrics. Anyways, Jess, what do you think about it?
I think this is one of the best videos ever made in any genre of music. I cannot watch it to this day without tearing up. Like you were saying, Deb, it's difficult for me to get through. It just brilliantly showcases what I would consider to be the theme song of every great hero. There's always sacrifice that goes along with heroism, but part of the mentality of any person who achieves true hero status is that their sacrifice, whatever form that takes, was worth it to them. Because their cause was worthy. Who they were protecting was worthy, and what they were fighting for was worth whatever it cost them. So I think choosing these heroic and tragic figures to represent this idea was brilliant. So I think putting that in video form was just, a stroke of genius. And I think it's always going to probably be, because of how iconic those people are, even when the years pass, even when music changes, if someone pulls this video out of an archive, it's going to always be meaningful and impactful. It's so powerful and so moving. And I have a love-hate relationship with the end where Garth talks about someone playing the dance for him. It was a great choice for the video, but the idea of something happening to Garth is a little gutting. I'm not going to lie. So while the ending pains me, it's also very memorable. So in that way, it was quite effective and a good way to close the video. But yeah, a little hard for me to get through still. And as tough as it is to watch, though, I really, really do love this one. And again, I think it's probably the best video ever in any genre.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
All right. 3 videos down and only 30 more to go.
All right.
Next time, we'll keep rolling through the Ultimate Hits DVD video track list and see how his visuals evolve as his catalog gets bigger, the stages get larger, and yet Garth's storytelling, I know, will keep us all watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you haven't in a while, go back and watch these videos. I tell ya, it is something in 2026 to watch a video from 1990.
Yeah.
So go do that. And then leave us a comment on any of our socials to let us know which of these videos hits you the hardest right now. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out all of our past episodes. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please stop by, hit that 5-star button if you like what you hear, and then write up a quick review to encourage others to listen. Then share our podcast with everyone you know, especially the Garth fans. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
Yeah, and speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, so are we. If you guys are on Facebook, we are at facebook.com/GarthologyCast, and we are also on Threads, TikTok, Instagram, and X at GarthologyCast there. We do appreciate all of your guys' comments, the likes, the shares, the tweets, and the retweets. So please continue to support us there. And if you have any show ideas or questions, feel free to hit us up in the DM.
We release new episodes of Garthology on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of each month. So if you're missing Garth, come join us for an episode and spend some quality time with your fellow Garthologists as we relive the highlights of Garth's life and career up to this point and discuss the albums that have become the soundtrack to our lives. So until the next one,
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. And remember, love will always win.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Garthology.
Wait a minute.
What?
Why don't we do the Deb, Jess, and Pete?
Oh, God,
When did we
totally
change?
forgot.
Yeah, just go on your own here. There's things we do.
I added in the wrong spot. Oh, my phone's going to die. Okay, we'll try again.
You want to hear a Bo thing?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
He came and sat down next to me right before we started recording, and he said, Mama. And I said, what? And he said, you know what's so hard? And I said, what, baby? And he said, rocks. I was like, that was his first joke. That was funny.
That's fucking awesome.
I mean, he told it perfectly with like perfect timing. No, he thinks he's hilarious. He's in there
That's
laughing.
awesome.
Yeah.